So, good morning, guys. Today we shall continue from where we left yesterday. So, yesterday we were seeing sum of min terms and product of max terms. Today we shall first see conversion of one canonical form to another. Conversion of one canonical form to another. So here I have considered an example f of a b c d. This implies the particular function is it has the four variables a b c and d in its function, okay, in its expression. So now first we need to find the, so let us consider these are given as the and terms. Let us include the missing terms in it and find the sum of min terms first. So for the sum of min terms, so we are having f is equal to b bar d plus a bar d plus bd. So including the missing terms, for the first we will be having a plus a bar, then b bar, c plus c bar and d. This will be for b bar d. And for a bar d, a bar dot b plus b bar dot c plus c bar into d plus a bar b c plus c bar dot d. So these are the three terms. Now let us find the expression for this. So we have a b bar c d plus a b bar c bar d plus a bar b bar c d plus a bar b bar c bar d. So this corresponds to these things. Next we have a bar b c d, a bar b c bar d, a bar b bar c d, a bar b bar c bar d. So for this combination we have these four terms. Now for the last one we have a b c d, a b c bar d, a bar b c d plus a bar b c bar d. Okay, wow. Now we need to check for redundant terms. So the first expression is a b bar c d. So with a b bar c d, we don't have a repetition. Then a b bar c bar d, that also we don't have any repetitions. Then a bar b bar c d. So here we have a repetition of this particular term, a bar b bar c d. So we shall leave out this. And then we have a bar b bar c bar d. This is also a repetition with this particular term. So we shall leave that out. Next, a bar b c d. So here this is repetition with respect to this. So this term and this term. So we can leave out that. Then we have a bar b c bar d. So this is also a repetition with the last term in this. So we can leave out that. So now the remaining things, a b c d plus a b c bar d. Okay, so this is our min term expression. So writing the corresponding form. So this is 1011, which is 11 1 0 0 1, which is 9 0 0 1 1. So 3 0 0 0 1. So 1 0 1 1 1. So 7 0 1 0 1. So 5 1 1 1 1. 15 and 1 1 0 1. So 13. So arranging, I have this as 1 3 5 7 9 11 13 and 15, right? 1 3 5 7 9 11 13 and 15. So this is my sum of minterms expression. Now we shall see how we can convert this into product of max terms. So as per the given expression, we are having f of abcd as summation of 1 3 5 7 9 11 13 15. So now main thing you have to remember is this implies in the truth table these corresponding minterms. So in truth table, these minterms have output 1. All the other terms will be a 0. Okay, wow? That is, if I am going to write the truth table for this, I will be having A, B, C and D and the output F. So in truth table, I said for any n variable, we will be writing the binary combinations in the order 0 to 2 power n minus 1. So here we are having 4 variables, so 2 power 4 is 16. So we write it from 0 to 15. Okay. So 0 0 0 0, 0 0 0 1, 0 0 1 0, 0 0 1 1, 0, sorry, 0 1 0 0, 0 1 0 1, 0 1 1 0, 0 1 1 1, 1 0 0 0, 1 0 0 1, 1 0 1 0, 1 0 1 1, 1 1 0 0, 1 1 0 1, 1 1 1 0, 1 1 1 1. And now we have wrote the function as it is 1 for all the odd valued things, that is m1, m3, m5, m7, m9, m11, m13 and m15. So this will be the corresponding truth table for the expression that we have seen now. Okay. So now to convert one canonical form to another, what we actually do is the steps involved is first you will be finding the complement of the function. Find complement of the function. Okay. So what it implies is, so we have f to be this thing. So we have f as this one. That is f of a, b, c, d is equal to summation of these things. So these are having the value to be 1. So the complement of this function is going to be whichever gives the output to be 0, that is the complement of this function. So f bar of a, b, c, d is equal to summation all the even numbered. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, va? That will give you the complement of this. Sorry. So that will give you the complement of this function. This is the actual function. This corresponds to the terms which have 1 as output. So the complement of the function will be that which correspond to having a 0 as output. Okay, so wherever you have 0 as output, those terms will be considered for the complement of the function. So now you need to convert this to the product of max terms form. So what we write is, so this is nothing but f bar is equal to m naught plus m2 plus m4 plus m6 plus m8 plus m10 plus m12 plus m14. Now we need to have the actual function. So you need to take complement of this again. So f bar the whole bar. This is equal to m naught plus m2 plus all these terms we have to write m14 the whole complement. So this will now give me f is equal to m naught bar applying De Morgan's theorem, m2 bar, m4 bar, m6 bar, m8 bar, m10 bar, m12 bar, sorry, this is a dot, and m14 bar. Now, while studying about min terms and max terms, I said mj bar is equal to mj, or you can also say mj is equal to mj bar. They are complement to each other. So now this f naught will become m naught dot m2 dot m4 m6 m8 m10 m12 and m14, which can be written as pi of 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and 14. Now we have got the product of max terms expression. Okay, if we are to write this in the form of expression, you will be having this as f is equal to, so in case of max terms, 0 will be unprimed, so we have this to be a plus b plus c plus d dot 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, then 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1, 1, 0. Okay. Simplest thing is to remember is any expression. For example, if you are given with the sum of min terms expression as f of 0, 1, 4, 6, then the product of max terms expression will be pi of 2, 3, 5, 7. So whatever terms are missing in this min terms, you have to write it over there for the max terms and invert this summation symbol with pi symbol. Okay, this is shortcut to remember, but if you are asked about this conversion in exam, you should not write it like this way. Okay, you can use this to check the answer. So based on the marks, you try to write it. If you are asked with MCQ sort of things, then you can very well go ahead with this. Okay, so you should be careful about how you write it in the exam point of view. But I am giving you all the possible combinations over there. Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we know how to write m0 m1 for 3 terms. ஆனா இங்க வந்து 4 terms extend பண்ணி எடுத்துக்கோம். Ma'am, how did we do that, ma'am?
This is what is this? This is about, that is, you have the m suffix the corresponding decimal. That's what. Okay, there is nothing more than that. And maybe from practice you will get to know. Just try to remember the equivalent binary and the decimal combinations for 4 bits minimally. Okay, va?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
I wrote all these in the order. So corresponding to that, I have given these values. Okay. Okay, so that is how we do the conversion from one canonical form to another. Next, we shall move on to the standard forms. So standard forms. So we have two types of standard forms, like with canonical forms. Sum of products, and product of sums. So these two expressions differ from that of minterms and max terms in the only way that in case of minterms and max terms, it is not a minimized expression. Okay, sum of minterms and product of max terms are not the minimized expressions. Not the minimized expressions. Whereas the SOP and POS will be the minimized expression. So we have come across this SOP and POS, but I didn't mention the name over there. That's all. So just we wrote the expression like B bar D plus CD plus A B bar C. If I am writing an expression like this, we call this the sum of products. That is, it is OR of AND terms. But the only thing is, you need not have all the literals in each of these terms. Similar way for POS, if you write this as A into B plus C bar plus D bar, then this is a product of sums. So this corresponds to R terms, and you are having the AND operation of those R terms. So we call that as the product of sums. Okay. So any minimized expression, you can call the name correspondingly with respect to sum of products or product of sums. Generally, we will be saying it as SOP and POS only. So this minimized expressions only give you minimal number of gates involved in the expression. If I am going to have a bigger one, so here we were seeing this particular expression. So we had this one. F of ABCD is equal to this particular term. B bar D, A bar D, and BD. B bar D, A bar D, and AD. So this you can say it as a minimized expression. Whereas with this one, that is the sum of minterms, we had the same expression to be 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15, all the odd terms. So this particular expression was having 8 AND terms and corresponding OR operation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 OR operation. Oh, sorry, here we don't have the 1 over there. I made a mistake here. So 8 AND terms and 7 OR terms. So if I am going to implement the sum of minterms as such in a logic diagram, you will be requiring 8 4 input AND gate and 7 2 input OR gate. Or you can consider that you have a 7 input OR gate available. So in that case, 7 input OR gate you need will be 1. Okay, that is how your number of gates will be. However, for this particular expression, if I am going to implement, I have only 3 AND terms and 2 OR terms, right? So each of these 3 are 2 input AND gates, and this 2 OR terms also you can use 2 input OR gate, or directly you can consider you have a 3 input OR gate. Just for our understanding, we can consider it like this. Okay, so from this you can see how much the hardware is getting minimized. Here I am requiring only 2 input or AND gate, and that too 3 AND gates are enough. Whereas the same expression, if I am giving it in the actual form, I need 8 AND gate, and that too each of the AND gate should have 4 input. Okay, so that is the purpose of going for minimization. Okay, so let us draw the logic diagram for this minimized one. So I am having B bar D. So I am giving B to the AND gate, sorry, NOT gate, and having D as another input. Both are given to the AND gates. Then I have A bar, and I have a D over there. So A bar D, and I have AD. So for A and for D, okay, and if I am implementing this straight away using a 3 input OR gate, this is how the logic diagram will be. Okay, so that's what we have. Just a moment. Was the last term BD?
நீங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொடுத்ததுல வந்து லாஸ்ட் டேர்ம் BD ன்னு இருந்தது மேம் AD ன்னு எடுத்துட்டீங்க.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, let us change it to BD, no problem. Or AD is also fine. Just for example only I showed it. So it is fine. Okay, if this is going to be BD, I will be directly sharing from over here and give the diagram. Okay, so this is how our logic diagram will be for this particular expression. However, if I am going to draw this one, it will be a huge thing. The whole page it will occupy. Okay, so here if suppose we consider that I have this B bar A bar readily available, that means I am not going to include a AND gate over NOT gate over here. In such case, we call this sort of structure to be 2-level logic gate. 2-level logic gate implementation. That is, in the first level, you will be having all the AND gate combination, which will give you this B bar D, A bar D, and this AD. And the second level will be ORing all these terms. Okay, that's why we call this 2-level logic gate implementation. If suppose you are having an expression like F is equal to A plus BD plus C into B plus D. So for this sort of diagram, you have this BD given to the AND gate, and you also have combination where you give this to OR gate. This is for this particular combination, and I have to AND it with C. And only then I can add all these. I have this A. This is a 3-input OR gate. So here actually this is a 3-level structure. So in the first level, I am computing the AND operation of this BD and OR operation of this BD. In the second stage, I am ANDing this B plus D with C. And in the third level only, I can compute the entire function. Okay, va? So this is, you can simply give the name as multi-level logic gate structure or a logic gate implementation. Okay. So you have to know all these just in case. And you have one more thing like implementation of the expressions, Boolean expression using universal gates. We were seeing this when we saw the logic gates. So we also saw that for NOR gates, the OR gate can be implemented simply as, so you use a NOR gate and then you will be complementing this again, where you have both the inputs to the OR gate is going to be same. This actually implements X plus Y. Same way, we also saw that for NOT gate, again as we have shown in this. So you need to give same input to the NOR gate, and this will give me the complement. For AND gate, I need the input to be complemented first. So X and Y, if I am explicitly showing an inverter, this is going to be like this. Or if I consider the complemented input to be available readily, I need not draw this inverter over here. So this NOT gate, we also call this as inverter. So this is my X bar, Y bar. Here I am going to get X bar dot Y bar the whole bar. I made a mistake somewhere. Oh, sorry, X bar plus Y bar the whole bar. So this is going to be X dot Y. Okay. So these are the implementations we saw. Similar way we saw for the NAND gate also. So for NAND gate, this sort of implementation and the diagram should be changed for AND gate, and this sort of implementation will be for the OR gate. So now if suppose I am going to implement this particular function using, first let us consider NOR gate, because we have drawn the diagram for this NOR gate here, so we shall consider that. So in case of NOR gate, I want a bubble at the end of OR gate, and for implementing AND gate, I need to invert the input. Okay. So if I am going to use NOR gate, Wherever I have AND gate, I insert a bubble at the input end. For OR gate, insert the bubble at the output end. Okay, so I am going to insert a bubble over here. That is both the input terminals. I am inserting a bubble in case of AND gate. So here we are having two AND gates. So let us put the bubble, or let me change the color of this. Okay. So here I am inserting a bubble. Here I am inserting a bubble at the input end. And for OR gate, I am inserting a bubble at the output end. That is the first step. Second step is, wherever we have placed the bubbles, look whether we are having two bubbles in the same line. Okay. Look whether we have two bubbles in the same line. If you have it, then you can leave it as such. If yes, leave it as such. If no, make a inverting operation there. Inverting operation or not operation, both are one and the same. Okay, so here if we check, in the first bubble I don't have any bubble to compensate it. So what we actually do is we invert the input variable. So here we are having a B, I just invert it to B bar, and this D will be changed to D bar. And in this place, that is here I don't have a complementing bubble, so I convert these terms to B bar and this to D bar. Here I am having a complementing bubble, so I won't bother about it. And here I don't have a complementing bubble, so I convert this variable to C bar. And towards the end of it, here I don't have a complementing bubble, so I need to complement the function further. So what I obtain is F bar. So now redrawing the diagram, what I will have is, and I will convert all these symbols to NOR gate symbols. So I have this is going to be B bar, D bar, and maybe here I will split these things out, okay? Because for the AND gate, I am not, sorry, AND gate only I need to invert the variables. For this OR gate, I need not invert the variables. So I will draw this as such. So this is going to be BD, and then we have this C, which is converted to C bar, so this is converted to C bar, and we have this A. This is giving me F bar, so I need to complement again to get F. So now this will be the logic diagram when you are implementing the above function using NOR gates alone. So now let us check the expression as such. So here I am going to have b bar plus d bar the whole bar, which is nothing but b bar d bar. And here I will be having b plus d the whole bar, which is, did I make a mistake here? Yes. This is BD. I made a mistake over there. So here we are having, sorry. Here we are having b bar plus d bar the whole bar, which is b dot d. This is b bar dot d bar. Here I am having a c bar. So the output of this gate will be b bar d bar plus c bar the whole bar. And at this end, I will be having this particular term. So b bar d bar plus c bar the whole bar plus bd plus a the whole bar. And this is again inverted. The diagram is this one. Okay. So here with the first step, I have this term bd as such, and the output of this particular AND gate, NOR gate is b bar d bar plus c bar the whole bar, which is nothing but c dot b plus d. And then all these are fed to the NOR gate. So I am actually having all these terms given to the NOR gate. So this is complemented. This is what the output over here will be. So again complementing the whole thing, I am going to get the function as such. Okay, that is what our function is. So the double complement of this is going to give me the same expression. Okay, are you able to understand this? Or let me take another example. So let us consider a fresh example where you have, okay, so f is equal to, let us consider x plus y into x bar plus z. I am taking a smaller example over here. So the implementation of this will be the first x, then I have the y. I consider that I have x bar readily available. So x bar plus z. So this is my x bar plus z. This is going to be my first level. This is ANDed with y, and that is to be ORed with this x. So the first thing you are going to do is you are going to insert a bubble to the AND gate at the input side and OR gate at the output side. So I am inserting bubble to the input side of AND gates and output side of OR gates. Okay, that is the first thing. Next, I will check whether I have two bubbles in the same line or not. If it is there, then it is fine. If not, I have to invert the corresponding variables. So here in this first line, I don't have any bubble, so I don't have any issue with it. So I can happily have it as x as such. Next, coming to the second one, I have this y with a single bubble. So I need to invert this. So that will become y bar. And here I have cancelling bubbles, so I won't bother about this. So this is going to be an OR gate with inputs x bar z. That is to be given to the next OR gate, NOR gate, and that is to be given to the final NOR gate. So here in this final one, we see this bubble is alone. So we need to invert again. Okay, va? So here this is nothing but x bar plus z the whole bar, which is x z bar. And at this point it is y bar plus x z bar the whole bar, which is nothing but y dot x bar plus z. And here it is z plus y dot x bar, oh sorry, this is x plus y dot x bar plus z the whole bar. And at this point I am complementing this function again, so this will give me x plus y dot x bar plus z. Okay ba? So that is how you implement a normal logic gate implementation using AND and OR gates to implementation using NOR gates only. Okay ba? Are you able to get the point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys. We shall see tomorrow.